first brain structure we will be looking at is the reptilian brain. It's located deep inside the skull. It's the home of our individual survival instincts and is responsible to deal with life-threatening situations. Now, to be technically correct, it works closely together with the limbic amygdala, which is located in the next brain structure and covered in the next lecture. The term reptilian brain refers to the erroneous belief that we inherited this part of the brain from our reptilian ancestors. Now, this is incorrect, however, as amphibians and fish also share this part of the brain. We most probably have to go back to our common evolutionary ancestor of all vertebrates. The other thing with the reptilian denomination is that this part of the brain's only concern is its own individual survival. Now I know it's unfortunate, as just to name one, some crocodiles take care of their offspring by letting them hide in their mouth. Now for all these reasons, this part of the brain is sometimes also referred to as the primitive brain. Anyway, just to be clear, we do not have an actual reptilian brain in our head. It's an image being used here. Good. So the reptilian brain has three and only three ways of responding to a threat. You're probably already familiar with the famous fight or flight response. Actually, there is one more. Flight, fight or freeze. So back in the Stone Age, when a caveman would notice his being followed by a pack of hungry wolves, three things would happen. Now the first strategy, our caveman would try to run. Now the thing with wolves is that they're pretty fast. Our legs may be longer, but they got 4 of them, so outrunning them is pretty much impossible. Second option for our caveman is to fight them off. If the danger is not too strong, this could work actually. Sometimes it's enough to intimidate by making ourselves look bigger, making much noise, throwing stuff around. Unfortunately, we're in the Stone Age, so much more than sticks and stones won't be available. And the wolves? Well, there are a lot of them. They got claws and sharp teeth and strong jaws. The odds are definitely not looking good. Last but not least, our caveman can freeze. This means he makes himself as small as possible so the threat won't see him or won't find him interesting enough as lunch. The best survival option for our caveman, though, would have been to find a big tree and climb up there, hoping the wolves would tire and eventually walk away. So here we are, 30,000 years later, and there aren't that many packs of wolves, or any other hungry predators for that matter, running around in our big cities, or even in the countryside. So great, no more need for the reptilian brain. Well, not quite. In our modern lives, the reptilian brain still gets activated in situations of life or death, even if these are quite few. If you're crossing the street and a car comes right at you, you will have the same 3 instinctive reactions as our cavemen. The first reaction is to jump away or flight. In the second phase, you might consider stopping the car with both your hands like Superman does. However, that might not work. The third reaction is to freeze, like a rabbit caught in a spotlight at night. You'll just stop moving altogether. If you're lucky, the car might miss you. But our reptilian brain also gets activated when our life is not in danger. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what today we call stress. Stress is a defense mechanism to a perceived danger. Now, I didn't say danger, I said perceived danger, because humans are probably the only species capable of worrying for something that might never happen. Anyway, so when we feel stressed, we actually still use those same 3 strategies as our friend the caveman. The fleeing becomes anxiety. Ever felt nervous before a test or when you had to give a presentation? That is the flee stress. The fighting becomes aggressivity. Ever came home after a nerve-wracking day at the office and you started shouting at the kids or your partner over something trivial? That is the fight stress in action. Finally, the free stress becomes helplessness. Ever faced this daunting task where you didn't even know where to begin? Only thinking about it made you feel depressed. Well, that is the free stress. So, to summarize the reptilian brain, this brain structure is responsible for our individual survival instincts. When activated, we feel stress, which can take 3 forms: flight, fight or freeze, or translated in our modern world, anxiety, aggressivity or helplessness.